be showing you how to remove the instrument cluster from a Volkswagen for an all keys lost scenario. This is the most common dashboard layout and how to take it apart. It's just this piece right here you're going to need to pull forward. Now, first tip is you're going to want to pull out the steering wheel as far as it'll go and as down as it'll go. And then some of them you can just might need a flathead screwdriver to start prying it apart. However, this particular one, you just kind of get a hold of and start popping it out. And this just is attached by leather, and you can just pull that down to the side. There's going to be 2 torque screws at the bottom there, and that's about it. So we'll just go ahead and loosen these guys up with the Torx wrench. Sometimes this gets in the way when you're trying to twist the screw, so it might not be the best idea to always use one if it has this end here. Could potentially scrape this a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and take these 2 out and come back. Alright, I got the screws out. That was size, sorry I can't focus there, size T20 is the wrench for that. Another tip is that when they get pretty loose, try to get your hand in there and take it off with your finger and your thumb so you don't drop them down there. Usually if you do drop them down there, you can usually tap at the bottom and hopefully they bounce out. Hopefully. Once you got it open, you can just slide this right out. Turn it to the left there towards the driver door, and we'll see the clip on the back. You need to push in this tab as you pull up on the purple tab. I'll admit it's always not super easy to do with just your fingers, so sometimes if you get a flathead to push that button down and lift up on the latch, but I might need 2 hands to do that. But just push the tab down and lift up on the latch. Alright, I got the little latch free now, so you just pull it up, slide that out the back, and that's it. Now we have our instrument cluster ready to take to the bench to finish programming. Alright, I'm going to show you how to remove the dashboard out of this Volkswagen and do all keys lost procedure. This is the harder of the options here. You actually have to, the trim piece goes all the way around both of the vents, so all of this comes out in one piece. The first step, you're going to want to pull out and down the steering wheel to give you as much room as possible. And then you're going to want to get a flathead and get behind here, pop that out a little bit. You want to, same thing on the other side here. You just want to get past these tabs here that will block you. Alright, so once you got that down, this piece you can kind of grab the inside of it, like not the glass but the inside of the plastic behind it. Start popping it out, and you want to go out this side. If this is a little more stuck around the edge, sometimes usually in the top, you might want to get a flathead, push down. But when you do that, be careful. This black piece and this chrome piece, they come off separate, so make sure you're going past that to the plastic behind it and not just popping off this outer piece of trim. But once you have it out so you can grab it, start pulling that out, wiggling it free, start coming back over this way. See how you can get your fingers behind there now? Just start pulling it outward. This corner is usually a little tough, so you can pop it out. Sometimes it's best if you start this far corner here get a flathead. Once again, kind of get in there. Oh, you can see how the plastic came up there. That'll pop back down, but try not to really break it. But if you can get past it, then you can lift out that corner a little bit to get this started, and then reach up in here again, and there it goes. This pops off. So now we got to keep this whole piece kind of intact and just lay it down over the front here. Now we'll be able to see underneath. Where are they? There's one screw. There's another one. They are a Torx T20 wrench. So it can be a little difficult to get in there with all different size wrenches. So if you try to check which size wrench works best for you. But I'm going to go ahead and take these two screws out right now. Alright, now I got the screws out of here. I would recommend that you loosen them most of the way and then kind of get your hand in there and twist it off to pull them out so you don't drop them down there. If they do fall down, usually you could tap. Oh, this one's kind of wide open, but some of them you can tap to knock it free. But once you got that, just kind of grab it. It should come right out. Usually tilting it towards the driver's side is usually the best option. Get around to the back. This is the clip you're going to need to remove here. It's got this tab that you need to push in so you can lift the lever up. Not always easy to do with one hand. Sometimes it's easy to get a flathead under there while you push down and see, just to get this lever free from the locking tab. So I'm going to do that real quick here. Alright, I got the locking tab free and the lever. So if you lift it all the way up, I'll pull it halfway out, and then you just pull that out. And you can kind of wiggle the instrument cluster out the front here, and we're ready to go finish programming on the bench. Once you have the instrument cluster outside of the vehicle, you're going to need to remove this back piece. There's just going to be 4 screws right here that you'll need to remove. They are a size T8 Torx wrench. I'm going to go ahead and take those out now. Alright, once you got the screws removed, there's going to be a tab on each side right here that you want to get a flathead under. And then you can kind of lift up one corner, and then on the other side, get a flathead under here. Let's see how I lifted that one up, and I go back and lift it up again. And then we'll be able to get this piece free. And then the only thing in your way is really the sticker right here. If you're not concerned about breaking the seal, just go ahead and cut through it. If you are a little concerned about it, then a lot of times you can pull it off with, and oh, look at that, it actually slides right off without tearing the sticker. Not every time, but if you're lucky. Once you got it apart, you're going to want to clip on this end of your SmartBox VW cluster wire. You want to start with this tab forward here, slide it in, and then lock it down. Alright, before programming a Volkswagen, you should always check your new key. The chip type needs to be 48 unlocked VW A1. As you'll see, a lot of them, aftermarkets and refurbs, they don't always come preset to VW A1. So it just says 48 unlocked. So I'll show you how to fix that on SmartBox. We'll go to data conversion. We can go by chip type. Select type 48. 48 A1 VW. Make sure you got it in the chip reader with the top side down. Alright, it says successfully converted. So we can go back. We'll go back to one more. Chip identification. Read the chip again. Alright, 48 unlocked VW A1. So this one's ready to be programmed to any Volkswagen 2006 to 2016. Alright, we're all hooked up and ready to start programming. I got the SmartBox powered on here with the 12-volt power supply. First step is making sure that we have our cable hooked up. Backup system data is the first option we want to choose. Alright, say we make sure our switch is starting in the off position, which it is. Then it's telling us to take our grounding probe wire and touch it to the correct location from the wiring diagram for the instrument cluster that you have. This one happens to be right here. And then we'll turn our switch to the on position. And then 6 seconds later, that orange light turns on and it clicks, and then we can remove our cable. Continue. Alright, we're going to do that one more time. We'll turn it off. We'll grab our grounding probe, put it back on the correct location here, and turn our switch back on. And there it goes, it clicks and the light turned on. Take that off and continue. Complete. Alright, before we go in key programming here, I'm just going to turn this cluster off. I just want to take our new key here, put it in the coil. Just right there. And I'll flip the cluster over real quick for us. Alright, so if we turn it on with the new key in the coil, see, it's going to tell us key not in range on this one. Some of them say no key or key not detected. So when we're done programming, we check for that again later to make sure it no longer displays that message. Turn it back off, flip it back over for you. Alright, we're going to go to pre-code key next. Alright, once again, start with it off, touch our grounding probe, flip the switch back on, wait for that light to come on, take the probe off, and continue. Alright, so it's just tips to make sure you do have it in programming mode correctly. What it's telling us here is that the dash screen should be completely black in the middle here. Should have the brake light, and usually you got the battery and the water temperature as well, but nothing else. Alright, take that key, put it back here in the SmartBox chip reader. Great, that's done. Now we can just go to program one key. We just want to add one into the system without deleting all the others. We already have it in there still. Alright, make sure that's back off to start with. Same thing, touch the probe, turn the switch on. There it goes. Continue. successfully added. So then now we can check it, like it's recommending we check our key. So turn the dash back off, put the head of the key into the ring here best we can. Sometimes you can get it in there where it stays. Usually you have two hands to hold it in there with one hand. Here, hopefully that should be good enough right there. Alright, so I'll flip this back over, turn the switch on. There, see, and did not switch over to key not in range, so that key is successfully programmed, and you're ready to reinstall the instrument cluster into the vehicle, and this key will start the engine.